32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Make me your radio and turn me up when you feel low.
Just because you do not take an interest in politics doesn't mean politics won't take an interest in you.
The funds spent were properly spent because we got them from intervention funds.
You only you waka come. There is God.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and the other room.
Stay in tune with politics on 32 FM 94.9.
When the people became silent,
The government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9. In order to matter, matters of the state must matter to you.
If some people are crying that they are in darkness, they should go and hold those who vandalize the installation.
Let me say that the political crinkle.
Stay tuned to politics on 32 FM 94.9.
Good morning, welcome to the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. My name is OLORUNTOBA YUSUF. Great to have you join us on the conversation this Saturday morning. We'll continue the conversation with the spate of insecurity ravaging different parts of the country. Just yesterday, the Catholic Diocese of Kotangara confirmed and released an updated list of pupils and staff members still held by bandits after the attack on St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State. The diocese says the updated list compiled on the 24th of November confirms that 265 people remain in captivity. The breakdown included 5 teachers, 7 non-academic staff members, 14 secondary school students, and 239 nursery and primary school pupils. Now, the victims were kidnapped on Friday, November 21st, when armed bandits invaded the school community. Early on Sunday, the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) reported that 50 abducted persons escaped and reunited with their family members. Of course, this has been one too many stories of kidnapping and abduction in different parts of the country, especially in the north central and northwestern part of Nigeria. And of course, it has generated reactions both internally and externally. Externally was the U.S. President Donald Trump beaming searchlight on Nigeria and designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, just like it was done during the tenure of my President Muhammadu Buhari. We also saw members of the U.S. Congress open a hearing on the security crisis in Nigeria, even inviting the victims, especially in Yelwata. Meanwhile, in the Senate, the debate has been ongoing as well, with some of the senators raising a motion that maybe Nigerian elite especially should be allowed to carry arms to defend themselves, coming in the wake of that announcement of withdrawal of policemen from VIPs in the country. So there's a lot of stories to unpack from that one. But first, let's begin with the former President Olusegun Obasanjo. What this to say about insecurity in Nigeria. Take a listen.
The first responsibility of any government is the protection and security of its citizens. And for anybody, at any time, anywhere, saying that when we are being killed as Nigerians, all you will say is that those that are being killed, another group also are being killed. Is that an explanation? I believe that is nonsensical. We are being killed. We Nigerians, no matter what religion you belong to, no matter where you come from, no matter what profession, we Nigerians are being killed. And our governments seem to be incapable of protecting us. We are part of the world community. If our government cannot do it, we have right to call on the international community to do for us what our government cannot do for us. And for anybody to say because those who are being killed belong to this region belong to this religion, belong to this tribe, and then others too are being killed, cannot be an acceptable excuse.
Well, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo there, giving his own opinion regarding the current security crisis in the country. For some, they're asking that maybe we should look at other ways of fighting this menace, especially in the northern part of the country. That's exactly the thought of the chairman of the Iowa Consultative Forum, who had a television interview yesterday and had this to say regarding exploring the amnesty program option, just like it was done in the Niger Delta region. Take a listen.
As I understand it, there is a very fierce debate in the North now between those who believe that you do not win this kind of problem with only military approach, and those that believe that you can win by talking, by negotiating, by consultation. The debate is still there. It's out there. The jury is still out. But I understand a mixture of the two has been used successfully in quite a number of places already. So maybe in the end, this has to be put together and applied. But I remember very well when there was an amnesty program in the Niger Delta, during those chaotic times, and it has worked perfectly. They were given amnesty. They were sent to school. They came back. They become integrated in the system, and they are useful products and citizens of Nigeria. That also aspect can be looked at in terms of the North. Most of these bandits have not had the opportunity to go to school, have not had the opportunity to actually enjoy what we ordinarily do in the cities. And it's just for government to probably, while extending hands of friendship, but also making it quite clear that what they are doing is illegal and...
Yeah, you heard the chairman of the Iowa Consultative Forum now. Let's also go to the Senate, where some lawmakers are proposing a review of the country's firearm laws to permit some of the elite, according to them, to carry firearms to be able to defend themselves. Basically, the lawmakers adopted a proposal through a voice vote conducted by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio yesterday. The proposal was one of the prayers in the motion sponsored by Yilola Ashiru, a senator representing Kwara South, on the rising cases of kidnapping in the country, especially in Niger, Kwara, and Kebbi states, where there were security challenges in the last 2 weeks.
Today, almost 120-something countries have already legalized carrying arms by sane and respectable people. I think it is time for Nigeria to allow us to be carrying arms. If not, these boys, you see them, you will just be vomiting. In the church, where this man is discussing with us, these are small boys carrying guns. If all of us, particularly the elite, and few of us who are okay are carrying guns, it is war against war. These boys will run away because there are not too many. It is time for us to stand and make a law that it is criminal for the negotiator, because the negotiators are even eating deep into what is happening today. Where is the bank where they normally withdraw such huge of money to settle them, including the banks, including the negotiator and the kidnappers? They are all criminals and they should face death penalty. I submit, sir.
Yeah, except from the floor of the Senate just during the week, you heard it there, a proposal to allow elite to carry weapons. So let me welcome our guests and panelists this morning. We just decided to give you an insight into some of the things we'll be discussing today on the podium. So our guest this morning is Mr. Monday Obani. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mr. Obani, for always finding time to be with us on the podium. Good morning, sir.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. As you know, the podium is a panel discussion. We have two panelists in the house. We have Professor Remi Ayede, Department of Political Science, University of Ibadan. Prof, good morning, sir. Good to have you.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here this Saturday morning, and I welcome our guest, my Honorable Barrister Ogunlola.
Thank you, Prof. Yeah. Barrister, good morning, sir. Barrister Remi Ogunlola is our other panelist in the house. Barrister, good morning, sir.
Yes, Toba, good morning.
Yeah.
My learned silk, good to have you. And of course, my noble professor. Good morning, Prof.
Yeah.
And good morning, Nigeria.
Okay, so Mr. Obani, I think I want to start from the angle of the law because the last clip, I don't know if you caught it, was from the Senate where the lawmakers were proposing a review of the firearms law to allow the elite to carry guns. I don't know if you heard what the lawmakers said. They said that, this would help the country fight insecurity, especially with what we've seen in the last couple of days. Interestingly, some of the senators are from Kwara, Niger, and Kebbi State, the three states where we've seen abductions, attack on churches in the last 2 or 3 weeks thereabouts. What do you make of that from the position of the law and the effect it will have on a country like Nigeria? In fact, he said that over 100 countries have laws that allow citizens to carry guns. Also put it into context, the gun laws in the United States and how, issues of gun control is always a heavily debated one, especially during political seasons. I'd like you to speak to that, Mr. Obani.
Thank you very much once again. The issue is that in Nigeria, issue of giving private individuals license to carry gun has been put on hold for some time now. Of course, the kind of guns that individuals, are even allowed under the Nigerian law is the one for hunting. If you apply for license for hunting, they used to issue you a license. That was the time I was even making an arrangement. But after some time, I think they put it on hold. And there is a reason for it. And so there has been this clamor over time that in the light of spate of insecurity in Nigeria, that it's important that certain persons be allowed to have a gun, that if a potential criminal knows that you have a gun in your house, he has to be a bit more careful. I've seen films, I've seen videos, sometimes where armed robbers will invade a home. Most time they didn't know that the owner is already around and already armed. And they have used those guns, within their household in order to protect their family and scare away. And sometimes they kill even the potential criminals. I've seen films, I've seen videos, and I'm sure all of us have also seen it. But we must also be careful because some people may begin to use licensed gun for some other criminal activities. Some may have an argument with a neighbor, ordinary argument, and then the person will use the gun in order to, use it against his neighbor or against his political opponent, or even give the guns to his boys, during political activities. So, issue of gun control, as rightly pointed out, has been a debatable issue, even in America as we speak. I'm watching CNN this morning.
Mr. Obani, please hold that thought, sir. We need to take this quick commercial break. Please hold that thought. When we get back, we'll continue the conversation with you. It's a Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Remember, we're live on Facebook, 32 FM 949. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes. Double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star Double Cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie Double Cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Life is a series of decisions, from where to live, who to marry, to even what to eat. As you navigate these choices, we hope you've made the right ones so far. Now, let's talk about making a smart investment decision. Investing with Soft Sands Property, a leading real estate organization in partnership with 32FM 94.9, could be one of the best choices you'll ever make. With our innovative estates like Orange Estate in Ido, Mango Estate in Akufo, and soon Banana Estate in Omiadio, you have numerous excellent options. Partnering with Soft Sands Property could be the game changer you need. Call or WhatsApp 0911 555 0055 or 0916 461 5000 or visit www.softsandsproperty.com for more information. Soft Sands, created to house the world.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up pouch.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
So much in love.
Gbogbo fashion designers nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àgàgà nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn ẹ máa kó àmójúbà Ìbàdàn monogram hall tó kalẹ̀ sí Ìbàdàn. Ayé ti lajú o ju ká máa gùn yẹn kìn fabẹ́rẹ́ déjà kan lọ́sẹ̀ mẹ́fà ká tó gbàsọ. Yàtọ̀ sáṣọ àgbà táwọn àgbà ń kóṣẹ́ sí. Ìbàdàn monogram hall ló ń pe àkíyèsí ẹ̀yin tailor àti fashion designers tó ń ránṣọ kalẹ̀ tán tó fẹ́ dára sáṣọ. Ó lè yẹ ẹni tó gbàsọ fún ọ lóde àríyá gbogbo tó fẹ́ lọ. Bóyá lo mọ̀ pé àìkóṣẹ́ gidi sáṣọ múlòdè lè mú ní bárasá. Ìbàdàn monogram hall tó ń wá kiri kò jìnnà sí ọ. Ìbàdàn monogram hall fún agbádá embroidery, kaftan embroidery, personalized gift items, uniform branding and bulk orders. Mo fẹ́ fòwú dára sára towel, rope, caps, polo, t-shirt and gift sets. Lówó tí ò gira ni o. WhatsApp calling number 091-1014-1773 tàbí 070-5506-3285. Olúléeṣẹ́ Àbíká complex tó wà níwájú Bovas filling station Aliwo gate Ìbàdàn àti number 7 Alawakalawe Òkè Ìbàdàn estate Àkóbọ̀ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Lighthouse hotel. Tẹ̀ sójú ẹ̀rọ ayélujára at Ìbàdàn monogram hub. Débẹ̀ kó ṣe sásọ. Ohun tá a bá ní ká 20 lọ kò lè gbèsè wa lárugẹ lórí iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe.
Psalms 82 verse 5 says, "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. But there's hope." Join Pastor Architect Alex Adigwe, Word Alive Ministries International, known as the Stone Church, every Sunday at 8:45 p.m. on 32FM 94.9. He'll share the word of hope, the word of life, and the word that heals. Remember, the word works when it is worked. Tune in and let the transformative power of God's word impact your life.
Come on!
Retí rẹ̀ àsìkò idán yẹn tuntun dé o. 32FM 94.9 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ Ride Rose tó ṣetán láti dẹ́rìn pẹ̀kẹ́ fayọ̀kúnú ọkàn yìí. Níbi ìmọ́lẹ̀ kérésìmesì yóò ti mọ́ tàn yànyànyàn nílùú Ìbàdàn. Ṣé ẹ ti ṣetán fún baba kérésìmesì ti iléeṣẹ́ 32FM tọdún 2025 bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kejìlá títí wọ ọjọ́ kẹrìnlélógún oṣù kejìlá ní Palm Small Ring Road nílùú Ìbàdàn. Àwọn ohun ìṣeré lóríṣiríṣi fún àwọn ọmọ yín yóò wà ní ìkàlẹ̀. Ẹ tún wá gbọ́ o, ọjọ́ mẹ́rìnlélógún gbáko ńlá fi pé ẹ̀bùn gbà béèrè kó o jẹ̀bù kàbìtì yàtọ̀ sí ẹ̀bùn tẹ́ gbé lọlé. Ijó, orin, ìdíje, ẹ̀fẹ̀ àti ìgbádùn tí kò lẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ fáwọn ọmọ yín. Bàbá kérésìmesì tọdún yìí yàtọ̀ jọ́. Torí pé kí ni gbogbo ìgbádùn àti idán yẹn pẹ̀lú ẹgbẹ̀rún méje náírà péré ni 7,000 naira. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ètò tọwọ́bọnú àṣẹ́kọ̀ gbẹ̀bù kàǹkà lọ́wọ́ bàbá kérésìmesì lórí afẹ́fẹ́ yóò mọ̀ wáyé láago 4 kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 15 títí wo aago 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀. Aago 5 àbọ̀ sí aago 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lópin ọ̀sẹ̀. Ẹ tara ṣàṣà wá máa ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì bàbá kérésìmesì fáwọn ọmọ yín ní ìkànnì 32FM. Àjàkẹ́rin ilé àwọn àgbẹ̀ Cocoa House ibẹ̀ ni ẹ máa bọ̀. Láti ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ṣagbátẹrù tàbí fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ pè Sùnbọ̀ sórí 0704 017 4981 tàbí Bọ́láńlé sórí 0813 183 2421. Bàbá kérésìmesì iléeṣẹ́ 32FM tọdún 2025 idán tó jù dán lọ.
Dr. Scrap Recycle àti tamọ́tò dìrọ̀rùn gbáà fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ tamọ́tò ní cash and carry no delay. Dr. Scrap ó rà lọ́wọ́ yín èyíkéyìí mọ́tò tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ tà eléyìí tó dúró re ni àbí eléyìí tó ti gorí odó tòun èyí tó ti di ilé ìdọ̀tí ládùúgbò àlòkù ọkọ̀ tí tù fi taruku tí ń yọ olówó rẹ̀ lẹ́nu tó ti fẹ́ sọra rẹ̀ di àgbàná fún yín tòun tí ọkọ̀ tí nǹkan kan ò ṣe tẹ́ fẹ́ tà kẹ́ ẹ fi pààrọ̀ ọkọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ tó fi upgrade bó ṣe car truck bus trailer ipò yòówù kí mọ́tò ọ̀hún wà Dr. Scrap ó rà lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ kàn sí wọn 09083013333 09083013333 09083013333 and wọn lórí Twitter Instagram àti Facebook ni at Dr. Scrap Recycle Dr. Scrap Recycle dé mọ́tò títà dìrọ̀rùn.
ọlọ́mọ mọ̀jà arógun pélé landlord lolúwa ló darúgbó sí.
Mr. Ọlọ́run ṣe bì kan ẹ ti dé ṣé kò sí.
ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ tó ń gógó ìlú tójú sú mi ó sì wù mí kémi náà fi December kí n ṣe foundation lé mi.
ẹ má fòyà ọ̀rọ̀ yín ti dayọ̀ torí irú yín ni Zenithal Properties Limited tó wà ní ọjọ́ Ìbàdàn tí èmi àti ẹbí mi ń bá dòwò pọ̀ ṣé máwọn àǹfààní bàǹtàbàǹtà ìwá. Zenithal Properties Limited is bringing you Itura Garden Estate along Moniya Ìṣẹ́yìn Road just 15 minutes from the Moniya train station Ìbàdàn. ẹ tún ní guarantee C/O lẹ́yìn ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ bá ra ilẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wọn for just 2.8 million naira tó jẹ́ promo price. ẹ kàn sàtọ́nlẹ̀ 500,000 naira pẹ̀lú àǹfààní àti san yòókù díẹ̀díẹ̀ fún oṣù mẹ́fà láìsan interest fee. ẹ tún lè ra ilẹ̀ sí Ìbàdàn Rivera Estate wọn ní Ìlàjú Community Èrúwà Road selling at just 1.2 million naira promo price pẹ̀lú C/O. You can complete payments within 6 months after making an initial deposit of 250,000 naira. ẹ̀rí gbogbo àǹfààní yìí ló wà ní Ìbàdàn Land Registry. bẹ́ẹ̀ bá wá ṣe ń ra ilẹ̀ lẹ́ọ̀tún máa gba àwọn ẹ̀bùn bíi màálù àgbò àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. 0903-286-6267 tàbí 0816-332-6868.
Long before denominations and division, there was just one church, the Church of the New Testament, the church that began on Pentecost in Acts of Apostles chapter 2, the body of believers who follow the pattern of apostles' teaching and Lord's command without merchandising the gospel. This is the Church of Christ, the church that follows Christ's word. Where he speaks, we are heard. Where he is silent, we keep silent too. Only what Christ commands is what we do in the Church of Christ. Beginning from Sunday, September 14, 2025 at 1 p.m., the Church of Christ will bring you the gospel of Jesus Christ on this station, 32 FM 94.9. This message is from the Bible, nothing added, nothing removed. It is pure and undiluted truth of God's word. Join us every Sunday on 32 FM 94.9 at 1 p.m. for clear, simple, and life-saving gospel of Jesus Christ. Don't miss it.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate.
Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, dirty uniforms and shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes, double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star double cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie double cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Welcome back, the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. In case you're just joining us, our guest this morning is Mr. Monday Obani. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. Remember, we're also live on Facebook, 32 FM 94.9. Like the video, share, and comment. Mr. Obani, thank you for staying with us. Before we went on that break, you were responding to my first question about legalizing firearms or reviewing the current firearms laws in Nigeria. And you were making a point about how the current law allows for a license for those who want to use guns to hunt, and the implication of reviewing it and allowing some people carry firearms in the country.
Yeah, thank you. That was a very long advert. I hope panel members are entitled to a certain percentage of the cost, of advert.
All right.
I was saying that in America, there is a current debate as to whether they should allow this all comers affair situation where everyone carries gun because of the cost of loss of lives. There was shooting in D.C. Another 2 days ago, where 2 security men were either wounded or killed by a lone gun carrier, and the person has been arrested and is going to be charged for murder. So we need to balance it. We need to balance. That's why the state is very careful in issuing license to everyone to carry a gun, because the issue of misuse may come in.
Yeah.
But the debate is on. We had a distinguished senator raise the issue that maybe it should be restricted to certain specific elites.
Yeah.
He mentioned maybe categories of politicians, who he feels may be responsible in the usage of the gun. That's what I understand him to be saying. So it's an ongoing thing.
Right.
If it becomes a bill, it will undergo what we call public hearing, where people will make their contributions and probably express their fears. Express their fears why we should be able to have high level of control in carrying gun. But then, besides, these are part of the suggestions that are coming. There are so many.
Yes, there are so many. Mr. Obani, Mr. Obani, sorry if I could quickly come in here. I have just 2 follow-up questions. There are those who are saying the fact that lawmakers are proposing a bill that will allow people carry guns shows, that there is a failure on the part of the state, because the state has the primary responsibility in the Constitution to protect lives and property of its citizens. So the fact that lawmakers are proposing this means that, the government has failed us in that regard. The second part is that, they're proposing this because they want to protect themselves. There's a fear that they could be, that's one of the arguments I've heard, they could be next one of the targets of these criminals and terrorists. That's why they want to protect themselves, because if VIPs and elite have access to guns, what happens to the ordinary Nigerians who are just going about their business in their various farmlands, in their churches, in their schools, because these are, public primary schools or public secondary schools that are being attacked in these places. So those 2 questions, Mr. Obani.
Yeah, it is indeed a fact that there has been a failure on the part of government to protect lives and properties in Nigeria. It's been on. It didn't start with this new government. The failure of the state to protect Nigerians has been on, right? Even from Obasanjo's era, 1999 to date, we've been having issues of insecurity. And the suggestion that only few persons should be licensed is also very selfish enough on the part of the politicians, because as you rightly pointed out, what of people in the villages, what of the people who do not have the means to acquire and who are not going to be listed as probably the beneficiaries of the gun license scheme? It means that they will be left unprotected, and then of course the criminals will have access to kill them. So it's selfish and it's a failure on the part of the government. And I've listened to all the suggestions actually.
Yes.
At the state level or at the national level or even conferences, even the one that you aired of all the various stakeholders who spoke.
Yes.
None of them have actually hit the nail on the head. They are all running around. They know why Nigeria today is in a state of insecurity. And they all contribute to it, and they're still contributing even with their suggestion that is not holistic enough. We know what is holding Nigeria, and we are doing it. Now, why would you allow certain parts of the country to be allowing foreigners to be coming into the country without any control? They are not Nigerians. You allow them, they come. You use them for political reasons, and you brought them in for probably to make your population look larger and all that. And up till now, nothing is being done to control your border. There is no country in the world that do not control their border. That is one. You allow every foreigner to come into the country freely and commit all manner of atrocities. You can see those guys on video saying that that Nigeria belongs to them, they will now start killing politicians and all that. You see the boldness. Who are these? Are they Nigerians in the first place? And if they are Nigerians, are these guys above the state? Are they more than the state that they cannot in any way be tracked? Right. What of the registration of card? The SIM card that this former government of Buhari embarked upon that says, oh, with it we can trace all criminals and all that. We wasted billions. They wasted billions in so-called SIM card. After that, what has happened? Who has been arrested? All the kidnappers who use phone and all that. What has that particular money we spent contributed? Nobody say anything about it. But the most important thing, gentlemen, and I want to say it, I don't think that this conversation to be too long, is that the moment we rendered local government administration in Nigeria ineffective, inoperational, and very weak and manipulated, and the money that is meant for local government administration for effective governance is being hijacked by the state government, there is no way we can get security in Nigeria.
Right. Okay.
As long as local government is non-functional, as long as there is no administration at the local government level, both in the south, both in the north, and we think we can deal with the issue of insecurity, we are just wasting our time.
Right.
They know about that. I'm bringing an article. That article will be posted online either tomorrow being Sunday for publication on Monday about all the suggestions is state of emergency declared, all the issue of let's have gone, let's deploy more military personnel, let's recruit more policemen. All these things are ephemeral. They are part, but they are not holistic enough to deal with insecurity in Nigeria.
Let's go to our panelists now. Let me start off with Barrister. Barrister, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. I think this morning I am going to disagree with my brother and the learned silk on licensed arms for responsible, in quote, responsible Nigerians, given the grave danger posed to Nigerians by terrorists who attack what many call soft spots, but which I call defenseless Nigerians, at a time when the security apparatuses of state appear overwhelmed, leaving the government unable to provide security and welfare, which is the essence of government, to its people. The argument that I have heard is that whoever is allowed to hold an arm, licensed arm, it goes with responsibility. There is the legal responsibility. There is the moral responsibility, as well as the social responsibility. And the fear of losing the privilege of owning a licensed arm is a good deterrence. Why I disagree with the learned silk is this. Nigerians are being stabbed with knives. They are being caught with machetes. Should we ban the use of knives in our houses and machetes? Of course, I know that the learned silk will say no. In a situation where the government has failed in its primary duty, it is not out of place to have people licensed to carry arms. Responsibility is what matters. I had a pump action rifle, and I know many Nigerians had that license. I don't think there was any case that was reported of a licensed arm owner that breached the rules. Most of the crimes that were committed with guns were committed with unlicensed arms. So in our present situation, I do not see anything wrong in allowing responsible Nigerians, because what it means to be responsible is to be accountable for your actions, for your decisions, and of course, the consequences. So, if that be it, anybody who is licensed, who commits a crime, there is adequate law in the land to deal with it. Right. That should not prevent us from defending ourselves, especially given the present state of insecurity. Otherwise, we will continue to have these gory videos that are circulating of bandits and terrorists and kidnappers who are unleashing mayhem on innocent Nigerians and getting away with it.
Right. Okay. Let's go to Prof then. Prof?
Well, I've listened very carefully to the trend of the debate. Yes. I'm afraid that my first intervention will be to Barrister Ogunlola, because he's comparing knives with guns. I think they are two different things. And we also know that the fact that we have knives all over the place has not prevented us from being victims of attack with those weapons. Because I'm only wondering that if we are even allowed to carry weapons, there are many places before you enter, there will be security check and things like that. So it is subject, because for me, it looks very challenging. So if I have a gun, what kind of gun? Is it a shotgun? Or will it be an AK-47 or AK-43 that I'll be carrying up and down? So it's a different culture. It's because there's something cultural about these things. Yeah. Let's
Prof, please kindly allow me correct an impression.
Oh, okay.
Licensed guns, as it was before Buhari asked all of us to go and deposit them with the appropriate agencies, are kept at home. You are not allowed to be carrying them on the street around. Though. They are kept in your house in the event of, having a need for them.
Okay. So maybe that I focus would be that shouldn't we open up the security issue as a security issue, of which gun ownership as only one possible solution, because it's supposed to be complementary to a whole lot of things that need to be done. Because if security is ineffective, given what our senior advocate has said, it will be extremely challenging to control those who have guns, because we need an effective security apparatus that be able to even regulate those who have been granted to hold guns. So the senior advocate tell us something about what are the general ramifications of this security challenge of law, because he has mentioned immigration as an important, because we have these people coming from outside the country. We have tax, especially educational. They are going to schools now. We don't know where else they are likely to go, because if they say, okay, we want to target the elite and politicians, those are not likely to be people in primary or secondary schools. Probably they will be in the National Assembly, they will be in the House of Assembly. There are also members of the elite who may not be in those places. There are other soft targets like hospitals. So I think we must have this very global picture in trying to deal with this security challenge. The president has declared the state of emergency, and I think it's a good time, for us to let him know the ramification of this idea, so that we don't end up with optics, and then we see where we are.
Senior advocate.
So my question to the senior advocate, really, what is his take on this idea of opening up, and where, as law, role has law to play within this much more global picture of the security challenge?
Right.
Yeah.
Senior advocate.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. My friend, my colleague, did not really get my perspective about the issue of licensing. I'm not saying issue of licensing, is something that is absolutely bad, but making it selective, and then at the same time allowing a situation where there is no proper regulation can also create a big problem. So regulatory challenges, and ensuring that this gun thing is not restrictive. If you want to grant a license and you grant it only to a few people, how have that one killed insecurity? Insecurity when they go to school, as the professor likely mentioned. So those people who are licensed and whose gun is in their homes will be used to protect the school or protect the churches and all that. He said that even the guns are in the home. So how have that one killed the state of insecurity? We are saying of having a holistic solution to this problem and not selective. That even if you make suggestion of selective, maybe it will be part of the entire process. Maybe one out of several other options that we have to undertake as a nation, which is what Prof want to know. See, the issue is that Nigeria currently is under invasion. And the government knows, and they're not saying anything about it. Nigeria is currently under invasion. The people, most of the criminals that are doing this banditry and kidnappings and killings and invading churches and mosques and all that are foreigners who are not Nigerians, and they have what they call global interest. That is a whole lot, in the global sphere. They are really want to undermine the strength and power of Nigeria, and they have a purpose. Maybe religious, maybe political, but Nigeria have to pay attention to it and then stop this issue of people coming into the country freely and exiting from the country freely. That global concern has to be expressed by Nigeria, and they have to take measure in order to curb it. Then secondly, and most importantly, sir, is that the Nigerian space today is not governed. The local government, everyone is a resident of a local government. Everyone is a product of local government. We have 207, how many, I think, is it 177 or 277 local government in Nigeria?
774.
Now,
774.
Sorry,
yes.
774 local government, that's correct. And I assure you that money that comes from the federal government do not get to the local government, both in the north and in the south. The governors hijack the money that's supposed to be given to local government. And every local government would have had the money allocated to them to secure their space. I am from a local government in Abia. I'm from Ikwano local government council. If I'm a mayor or if I'm a local government chairman in my local government, the law is that I must protect my local government. All the entry point and exit point must be protected. And the money is there for me to ensure that adequate protection is there. Then tell me if Mr. B does his own, Mr. C does his own, involving all the 774. So why would there not be security in Nigeria? Because every local government is governed properly. There is an open space at the local government level due to the negligence of state actors. They are doing it. Fagbemi went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court says every money that is due for local government must be given to them. As I speak to you, 2 years down the line, that Supreme Court judgment has not been obeyed. The governors are still interfering with local government administration's money that comes to them into joint account. And we allow it. And we talk about insecurity. Everyone now is crying. The state of emergency we have declared. But we have not addressed the root cause. That insecurity does not start at the federal level. Insecurity starts at the local government level. And those at the local government have not been given enough time and money in order to ensure that they govern their space and secure their local government so that Nigeria can be secured.
Right.
Apart from the issue of foreign invasion, there is so much ungoverned space. So that even if you carry your gun and these guys come 20, 30 to attack you, how many are you going to kill with one gun, your license? Has that been protection? Only protection for you and your family. What of other people in the village that do not have gun? What of other people in the town that do not have gun? What of other people in the estate that may not have the gun? So I'm saying that Nigeria has to be a bit more kinetic. They must come with strategy to really, really deal with this issue of insecurity that wants to consume everyone. And these guys are saying, we're in your bushes. We're in your bushes. How is it that those bushes are ungoverned? How come that those bushes are not manned, are not guided? Why do we allow our bushes to be taken over by foreigners? And you're telling me that you want to license gun, that if you license gun, that has cured insecurity.
Let me crave the indulgence of Toba to come in here. You know, I'll give you just one example. In my neighborhood, when I had my gun, I think we had one or two others that also had licensed guns. In the night, say about 12 midnight, I fire a shot in the air, and somebody responds, you know, and then the third too. What we experienced was that it scared away the bad people. So I am not saying that one gun with one person is enough. That's why I said responsible Nigerians be allowed. And you know, it is at the discretion of the Inspector General of Police or the Commissioner of Police, as the case may be. But having said that, let me quickly touch the issue you addressed, the issue of local governments. Now, is it right to blame the governors or the federal government for what we are witnessing with the abandonment of that third tier of government? Is it enough for Fagbemi to have gone to court to obtain that judgment without making moves to amend the Constitution, particularly provisions that empower the states to have and continue to have control over the local governments?
Mr. Obani.
My brother, the law, you're a lawyer. The law is what the court pronounced them to be. Fagbemi went to court, to Supreme Court, and asked that local government money was meant for them. That the issue of having a joint account was for purposes of the state government to put their own funding in order to give to the local government, not for them to now manipulate and hijack it. Joint account was created for a purpose.
No,
let me finish.
No, just so that you add it, to what you are saying. Does it, the judgment you have cited, does it amend Section 7 of the Constitution?
I said, I ask you to allow me to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Section 7.
Go ahead, sir.
The Section 7 had a reason. Go and read that Section 7 you mentioned. The section that you're talking about, joint state account. The purpose of that joint account is for the money to come into that account so that the state can give their own counterpart funding. Go and read the Constitution. For the local government allocation that comes, must go to the local government directly. We're not talking about creation of local government. It is the state that creates. The final thing is done by the National Assembly to give it what we call ratification and amending the Constitution. But for the fact that you say you are the one that created, does not mean that if the money is supposed to go to local government, then you hijack the money. No. Creation does not give you the power to hijack money that goes to local government. It's a tier of government that the constitution itself has recognized. So if the money is supposed to go to them, allow them to use the money that the federal government has allocated to them to go straight to them. Why? What is important? What is difficult about that? You're talking about Section 7. Oh, because you created, then you have to now hijack their money. What are you saying as a lawyer? So, but let me finish. I'm saying the Supreme Court says let that local government money goes to them, so that they can use that money to do the responsibility that the Constitution has assigned to them. The issue of road, this light, market, there are so many responsibilities that the Constitution has assigned to local government, which they are not doing today because the governors are interfering with the money that's supposed to go to them. And it's not right. We are talking about insecurity. And why is there insecurity? Is because the open spaces in local government are not governed. There is no money given to them to man those spaces. And we are talking about insecurity. We are looking for a solution. You are talking about Section 7. Oh, because you create local government, so you must interfere with their money? What kind of suggestion is that?
Okay.
What kind of ideas are we propagating?
Right.
When we are saying we are looking for a solution to our problem, let local government money that the Supreme Court says should go to them.
Okay.
But in any case, we are also amending the Constitution now in order to ensure that there is nothing like joint account. Money goes to them directly so that they can use that money in order to carry out the responsibility that the Constitution has assigned to them. Let's be more practical about how to solve this our problem.
Right.
Not we begin to bring all those.
Mr. Obani.
It creates more problem. It creates more problem.
Yes. Okay.
Please, I will still plead to be allowed to make this contribution.
Okay.
Mr. Ubani, the Section 7 of the Constitution says it is the House of Assembly that will make a law for the establishment, for the structure, for the composition, for the finance, and for the functions of such councils. We have seen in recent times state governors suspending local government chairmen. And what I am saying in essence is what the judgment gave with one hand, the Constitution appears to take away with the other hand. There are inconsistencies with that judgment in the Constitution. That's what I am saying.
Okay.
And that is why the governors are still doing what they are doing. What ought to have been done was to amend, and I thank God that a wonderful man like you is in a committee that is working on the amendment of the Constitution. So I am saying that these are some of the areas that we need to work on to ensure that there is that much desired autonomy for the local governments.
Okay. All right. Mr. Obani, I'm happy that you also mentioned the committee that you're in, to amend the Constitution and all of that. And one of the things that have come up recently as a solution to insecurity, in line with the local government autonomy that you mentioned, is the issue of community policing or state police, whatever nomenclature you want to give it. And we've seen Southwest governors back in 2019, thereabouts, when they came together to form what became known as Amotekun, the Southwest Security Network Agency. Would you say that that has given us a template into how state police will operate if it eventually takes off? What do you make of the debate about state police? Is it part of the things you're looking at in your committee, or maybe community policing going alongside this local government autonomy that you talked about to tackle this problem at the grassroots level?
Yeah, security is local. We've been advocating for state police for a very long time. But the governors themselves and even the federal actors, we're against it. But it has become very imperative that everyone now is clear, including the present president, is saying, look, the states that have the capacity must be given the opportunity to govern, to protect their states by granting them the power to recruit, train, and deploy policemen. So state policing is really, really a top priority in the constitutional amendment. And by the grace of God, if we receive the assent of 2/3 of the 36 states, and then comes back to the federal government for assent, and I think the president will assent it, because there's no other way. Security is local. In fact, in America, when we're talking about, even the universities have their own policing system. The universities have policing system. The local government, have policing system, and then the state. I even want the local government also to have their own autonomy of policing. Let them recruit their own persons, arm them to protect the environment. Let me tell you this. If I'm a local government chairman, what I will identify is all the points of exit and entrance in my local government. And then I make sure that people are there 24 hours. How people come into my local government, those entry points and exit points, it must be manned. The same thing will happen to B. The same thing will happen to Mr. C. The same thing will happen to the man in the north who is running a local government. You man all the entry and exit points so that you can secure your environment. So if the 774 local governments are secured, Nigeria is secure, sir. That is what I'm trying to say. If I secure my local government, the man in the north, in the south will secure his own local government. The man in the north will secure. What are we talking about? Where is this security coming from? We're saying that we have not manned that space. The man in Abuja cannot be the one to come and man my local government because he doesn't know the terrain. So we have a solution. We have a solution to the problem.
Do you think we can leverage, an outfit like Amotekun that has been operational for the last 6 years or thereabout?
Is Amotekun giving arms? Are they licensed to carry arms? Did they give them arms? They see the law still allows them to go and report to police, and most of the effort they are putting are wasted. Those guys that were arrested, before you know it, the police will release them. But if they have the autonomy to control the issue of arrest, investigation, prosecution, and all that, I mean, they will now go ahead to carry it out, not relying on the Nigerian police again for prosecution or investigation, because they say when you arrest, you hand over. You hand over to people who may compromise even the investigation process and release them, or when their relations are the one affected and or they release them. So, but when that autonomy is created in the situation where you can investigate, you can prosecute, and then you have the arms and all that, then the state himself will now make sure that every local government is also manned in conjunction with the mayors or the local government chairman. That's what we're saying. We should be more practical and we should be more intentional about securing Nigeria. We cannot be, reeling out suggestions that fly in the air that has no practical meaning when it comes to securing Nigeria. The most practical method, sir, is that there must be somebody on the ground at the local government level to really man all the local governments in Nigeria, which is presently not happening. Okay. And we're crying insecurity. Why would there be no insecurity when the local governments are not mad, sir?
Yeah, one of the things I've also heard is that, this also speaks to the level of inefficiency of the Nigerian police. So that also say, ordinarily, the issue of banditry and kidnapping are mere skirmishes. This is not to sound insensitive to the victims of this act in the northern part of the country. They say these are mere skirmishes that should ordinarily be dealt with the Nigerian police force. That shows the inefficiency of the current police architecture we have. They even take it back further to Mohammed Yusuf, who was then arrested by the Nigerian army, handed over to the Nigerian police, and then something happened along the line. He was killed, allegedly, in custody of the Nigerian police. And they say this is how the foundation of how things started, which has now degenerated and festered into different angles of insecurity. So I'd like you to speak to the inefficiency of the police. Some say the military doesn't even need to be part of this. This is ordinarily should be a police affair.
God bless you. God bless you. The point is that over time, the military purposely weakened the Nigerian police force.
Okay.
Both in terms of training, because the Nigerian policemen of the 60s that were trained by the British, the Nigerian policemen that were trained in the 50s, if you see the level of efficiency and professionalism, is something else. It's any training or even internal training, training and retraining. Do you see those things going on? They are not well trained. They are not well armed. They are not well equipped. They are not well funded. So they purposely did that. That's why they are bringing military now to complement what goes on. Ordinarily, you're supposed not to see the military in securing the internal security of arrangement of Nigeria. It's supposed to be pure police issue. One, we don't even have enough policemen, guiding Nigeria. And most of them are attached to VIP, even though they have now come up with the policy of withdrawing from the VIP. I don't know how effective that would be. But the point is that we are under policed in terms of personnel personnel that's supposed to do the work. You know how the population of Nigeria, how many police do we have in terms of personnel? We are short of them. We are also short of them in training. They are not well trained. They are not well armed. They are not well funded. That is why the inefficiencies are. Have you met a policeman, who is well trained, and then have a conversation with them and all that, even their way, the way of approach and all that? But these guys don't put them. That's why now the federal government now says the school has to be upgraded. They are talking about the training centers of policemen, because those guys don't even know what their curriculum is all about. There is no. You meet a typical policeman on the road and interact with him. You see lack of professionalism. You see the way they behave like some of them are like an agbo. A policeman supposed to. You watch policemen in UK. You watch policemen in America. How professional they are, sir.
So your argument, sir, is that
it's a policy that weakened them.
Okay, it was a military intervention. Military intervention weakened
military
the institution.
purposely wanted to weaken them, so that they cannot resist anytime they want to take over the a government. They weakened them. But it was a policy thing. But now that we are running democracy, I think that those guys now who are in charge now should now make sure that Nigerian police, they are well trained, they are well funded, they are well equipped, and those who are bad, we take them out of the system, right? Yeah. And then return those who are that's the way to and man, listen. But in addition to state policing, sir, we're not now relying only on federal now, but we must make a law. We must also be very careful not to allow the governors to manipulate the decision, because that's another thing again. If you allow state policing, we must make law that will really checkmate excessive use or abuse of policemen against political opponents. We must also counter that in our law. So the law must make sure that there is what we could checks and balances, so that we don't run into a situation where we solve a problem and then end up creating more, more problems, for ourselves as a nation.
Let's go to Prof now. Prof? Hello, Prof.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, you have the floor.
Okay. I was just thinking that if we look at the question of training and the question of funding, the question of equipment, I think it's also important for us to look at the take-home pay of police officers, the conditions of service of police officers. I think in Nigeria, we seem to shy away from those issues. And since the time of purchasing power of especially government paid off workers, it's nothing to write to me. But among people, the salary is unable to even pay their transport. Then go to the police barracks and see for yourself whether where they live is even fit for human beings. I think we can't be talking about security and remove the welfare of those who are supposed to take care of our security. I don't know what the Police Act provides for, but if you look at the condition of police officers, you will be wary of even asking states to own their own police forces, because we are not dealing with the issues, we are avoiding them, we are introducing new institutions, as if you also provide state police and you don't give them sufficient good terms and conditions of work, that there is going to make any difference. They also turned out in the street collecting 50 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira from motorists to augment their existence. So I don't know whether the
Prof? Okay.
Visions of responsibility, they don't recognize that these things are important for others apart from themselves. Because we look at the politicians, they are well remunerated. But the rest of us are not, and we have salaries and wages commission. So what is wrong with this institution is what is wrong with the leadership, that they can't see any connection? Or does the senior advocate think that there's no connection between the because I think that it shows the extent to which we value the contribution of these people. So is it that there's no connection between what the policeman or the military man earns as a salary and then what happens to his family when he dies in the job? Are they not important to all this question of security that we are talking about?
Prof, it goes without saying. The moment you are training people, the moment you are equipping them, how come you will not be able to take care of their salaries and allowances and make sure that they're very comfortable, that do not suffer? A policeman is transferred to a particular state. You don't make arrangement where he's going to stay. The man sleeps on the street. When you transfer him, there is no arrangement. There is no money paid to him where he's, for his accommodation and all that. Where is that one done except in Nigeria? So it goes without saying that even if you want to do state policing, you must fund it. When I mean funded, it's not paying them adequate salaries and making sure that they have equipment. In fact, most of the states are the one even funding Nigerian police today.
Yes.
Most of them are the one buying equipment today. Yes. You know, there are some governors that buy all their vehicles,
yes.
And yes, they even give them allowances. Sir. Yes. Some states are doing it on behalf of the federal government. Yes. I'm saying that if you want to do all that, you must take care of their welfare, their part, everything, sir. It's inclusive, Prof. It goes without saying. I don't need to emphasize that. How can you train people and you don't pay them and you want them to, to bring out their best? You can't. So it goes. It's a total package, sir.
Okay.
There's a connection.
Yes. Okay. Before I go to Barrister, I just want you to speak to this, Mr. Albani, and it's one of the suggestions. I think I aired it earlier from the chairman of the Iowa Consultative Forum. He also spoke broadly about the issues in the North and everything. He talked about what the Iowa Consultative Forum has been doing, the Northern Governors Forum, the various stakeholders engagement they've been having, and all of that. But he also made a point about the possibility of exploring the amnesty program in the northern part of the country. Perhaps it could also be a solution to the security crisis. He mentioned how some of these bandits have no access to good education. These people are people that are known in some cases to the various communities in the north, that if that amnesty program were to be extended, it could also be a way of resolving the problem. So what are your thoughts on that as a way of ensuring lasting peace and stability in that region? Is that a viable option to explore for the government?
You give amnesty to those whose minds will actually have changed, believing that they will understand, what the purpose of the amnesty is meant for. They understand the purpose and then, try to align themselves with the objective of the federal government. It was done in the what do you call it now? This region, the Niger Delta region. Yes. Remember, and then these guys laid down their weapons and then came out, and then we proceeded from there. Now, in the case of the northern bandits and all that, you must first of all profile them. Are they Nigerians in the first place? Would they also align with Nigerian objective when you give them this thing? Because some of them has been given amnesty. So,
Mr. Barney, your line is
forces now giving information to awareness. No, they have given. I said that some of these things have been done.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
And then amnesty has been given to, and some of them have been recruited into the Nigerian army. And then we found out that we recruited our enemies into the Nigerian army. I heard that has happened. Amnesty has been given to some of them by the various states in the northern region. What was the result? Did they actually repented? Did they not turn out and become hostile again against the government and all that, demanding money and all that? So we must profile those we want to give. It's part of the solution. But we must also be careful that we do not in a new way begin to give them that negotiation ability, so that they will become, other ones will join and say, if they begin to do this, federal government or state will come and negotiate and pay us, and it become now a bargaining chip, and they will use it against the government. So we must, this thing is balancing. You must balance it. You must know those who are really genuinely repentant, whom you will give amnesty and then put them in education. That was failure. There was failure in the north, sir. When we were allowing these almajiris, to be going all over the place without going to school, without being useful in life, without learning a trade, without going, now they have become a time bomb. It was over time. It was built up. This thing built up over time, almajiri. That's why they are easily recruited, because they have no sense of direction. They were not well trained. They were not well schooled. There is nothing they have as a skill. So the next thing that they recruit them and train them to how to use gun and kill and maim, because they have no future. They have no future. They have no hope. So you must give those children hope. Don't allow almajiris to be on the road. These guys ought to be in school or, training a skill. Okay. So it's all a fallout as a result of negligence over years, misgovernance, corruption. This is what we are reaping now. We are reaping what we have sowed over time. So, but we can correct it by saying no more again are we going to allow almajiris. No more are we going to allow people who are street traders. They must all go to school and learn a trade and become useful. And then you must also create employment for them, sir. One thing is that they are schooled, or they learn a skill, they must also have opportunity of being employed. Or if I'm employed, I work in a very good company. When I come back in the night, I will be thinking about how to go back to work tomorrow morning. I have no time for crime. And I don't mind his devil's workshop. There are so many people that have no job in the country, sir, and they are easily recruited into one crime or the other. We must also follow economic prescription. Not only all those other ones we are prescribed, we must also economically deal with the issue of unemployment, create employment opportunities for Nigerians. We must make Nigeria to become, our politicians must not be stealing all the money and be housing them abroad. We must use this money to develop Nigeria and make everyone to be happy. When you are happy, you cannot be thinking about stealing and killing another person, sir. When you are very happy with the state, you will say, God bless Nigeria, the way they say in America and London. They say, God bless the Queen, God bless the Americans, because the country has cared about you. The country start caring about them when they're in the tummy, in the stomach of their mother. That is when they started. The care starts. If you are a pregnant woman in UK, they'll give you a house, free house, sir. And if you have no employment, they will make sure that you are given stipend to eat. You can't go hungry in UK. You can't go hungry in America because they have a system, a package for the poor. The system must care for the people so that they begin to love the country and begin to love one another. That is what I'm preaching. That is what our leaders should preach.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Obani. Let's go to Barrister now. Barrister, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much. I always enjoy my learned silk when he is with us. Now, recently, PDP held a convention and elected its leaders. They scheduled a meeting for Wadata House. A faction that is supported by the powers that be also scheduled a meeting for the same day. And having the police on their side, they locked the gate against the other faction. Worse still, that other side was tear-gassed by the police. Today, the IGP and the Chief of Defense Staff are answerable to the President and the President alone. Now, if that obtains at the center, and we have not been able to correct it, how can we be proposing something different for the states? That's number one. Number two, sir, today we hear terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. Nigerians are very familiar with terrorism and kidnapping as being covered by our laws. Is banditry a crime under Nigerian law?
Okay, so those are your two questions. All right, Mr. Barney.
Those are the two questions.
Two questions. Mr. Barney?
Yes, I got the second question, the issue of whether banditry is a crime. I think the first one was the issue of PDP.
No, the first one. Yes, I think it was trying to reference what played out, that the police took sides with one faction of the PDP at the Wadata Plaza. That if we are seeing that at the federal level, where the police, the IG answers to the president directly, what's going to happen at the state level, where whoever is in charge of the state police that is going to be created, if the law allows it, will answer directly to the state governor. What's going to happen at that level as well, if that is happening at the national level as we are speaking?
Yeah, the point is that we must be careful, again, who we elect as leaders, both at the national and state level. If you elect a man who has come to govern a particular state because he has interests of development of the people, development of the environment, and contributing his own quota, I see no reason why the man will come and govern with vendetta. I see no reason why he will be using the Nigerian police against the same people he has come to govern. I'm being idealistic about that, so that whoever comes in must work in the interest of the state that people have elected him to govern. That's one thing. But then the law also must not just create state police and allow unbridled use or manipulation or misuse of the state apparatus for his own personal advantage, no aggrandizement. There must be a provision that allows federal intervention where there is a misuse. That's what goes on in US. if there is a federal FBI, if FBI comes into a matter that is being handled by the state level and all that, everyone gives way. That is the law. Animals in the bush, we can't go hunting. We must continue to hunt until one day we find a solution. So we cannot, because of the fact that there is likelihood of abuse, by the state governors, they cannot now create an institution that will really help to secure the lives and properties of Nigeria. But we must also be careful, who are we electing? We must look at the antecedent of madmen. If you look at a madman, making him a governor, you will destroy the state. Why do we have to make a madman a governor? Make go those people who will fear God, who will use power for the purposes of the people and not for the purposes of his family and his friends. That's one thing I also. So the electorate has a role to play in electing leaders that will actually govern when we create the state police, that those who are there are not madmen or madwomen, but people who have antecedent and will really govern in the interest of the state. Then the second question about whether
the appropriate instrument that criminalizes banditry.
Well, the point is that what do bandits do? They steal. We have provision for stealing against in the criminal code. If you kill, we have instrument of law that makes it a criminal offense, murder. Are you following me? If you,
yes.
They commit crimes, and those crimes have already been defined by the penal code and all that.
Okay, so they will not be taken for charged for banditry. They will be charged for.
I don't know of any law that but I know of crime. But I know of crime that they commit. That those ones there's a provision against them in the law books. Yeah, that's what I know, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so it's possible that they could be charged for illegal possession of firearms.
Firearms, yes. Yes. All those offenses, they will commit, by their own act. Let me tell you, those guys are terrorists, but they just wanted to give them a very nice, beautiful name. They now call
beautiful, by Lanester. That was where I wanted you to go. Let them change it from banditry to terrorism.
They are all terrorists. Those guys are into terrorism. I'm telling you, what they commit are acts of terrorism. But they just wanted to, so that, to look away. Because those guys, most of them, they are the ones sponsored. I mean, how come these guys that kidnap the school children, somebody said we call them and they release it? So you know them, you have their phone number. I hope you read that thing, sir. You guys read that thing, sir.
Yes, we did.
And they said they call them. So they call them and they release them. They have contact with them. They know them.
No, Lanester, they did not just call them.
Yes, sir.
From what we got, it appears they used betu. That kind of Yoruba incantation. Where I release the people. We are begging on Onuga now for more of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.